in her intro, she talked about the fact that we have different ethnic groups and various dialects. And I think that one of the things on Nico's front burner was talking about having to have a national language as part of, bringing about national development. So I say this to bring you to having to talk about having a national language. And then if we talk about a national language now, are we talking about saying that Igbo should be language, or Yoruba, or Efik, or are we picking different dialects from these 250 ethnicities to be able to bring up a national language?
My sister, the issue of national language is a totally different kettle of fish. But let's address it since you have brought it. When you hear this cliche, our strength is in our diversity, what do you think they are talking about? They don't even understand the meaning. They just use it as an expression and they move on. For your diversity to become a strength for you as a people, there are elements that must be fulfilled. One of those elements is a mono language. And this was why they started with the idea of Wazobia. Wazobia got truncated for reasons I can't lay my hands on now. I've been struggling. Because I was going to ask that. There was an attempt with Wazobia. I was to understand why Wazobia died. But to get a one language for Nigeria is not a big deal as we think. My institute today has 4 cardinal projects, which we hope by 2025 we will have budget to cover these projects. Once we have that, we move on to another phase of our idea development. Then we will now begin to talk about that you have spoken about, one national language for Nigeria. How do we get it? Can we get it? If you see the way Nigeria has come, you will understand that we're actually a highly related and interconnected people. I'll tell you what I mean. We have 3 main languages in Nigeria: Yoruba, Hausa, and Igbo. If you pick Yoruba West, you realize that the Kogi state has Yoruba sufficiently. The Igalas, sufficiently. Kwara state has Yoruba. In fact, 56% of Kwara is Yoruba. Okay. Edo has enough Yoruba. Delta has Yoruba. Right? Yes. Let's leave that as that first. You talk about Igbo. You realize that Delta has Igbo. Apart from the 5 Igbo-speaking states, Port Harcourt, River State, they have Igbo. Okay. Cross River, they have Igbo. Edo, they have Igbo. Right? Yeah. Let's talk about Hausa. Practically almost all the 19 northern states speak Hausa. So, to fine-tune or to harness these interconnected link pains is very simple. We made attempts to gather professors of sociology, language, history, and all of that, and say, okay, look at this project and see how we can achieve it in 12 calendar months. Okay. And they told me it is simple and possible. It may be expensive, but it's achievable. Fortunately for us, in one of our programs, we had a message from the governor of Bayelsa, who volunteered to say, I will host that conference to develop this idea. Okay. If we speak one language in Nigeria, a man leaves Port Harcourt to Maiduguri, and he speaks a language that they understand in Maiduguri, he automatically becomes their brother. If you go to the remotest part of the world, say Acapulco, for instance, and you find somebody who could speak your language, that fellow automatically becomes your brother or sister. Absolutely. You want to even live with that person for that moment. Language is a strong factor in bringing unity and love. Okay.